Alright, session 5 of the 6-part session on myself, Matthalamews, your teacher, where you get an understanding of where I've got my background. I have a university degree in anthropology, cultural sound anthropology, as opposed to physical anthropology or linguistics. There's another anthropology, archaeology instead. So I got that at the University of California at Santa Cruz in 1996. I've been studying ever since then in the schools of science regarding serotonin, the King transmitter, as described by Rick Strawson in his book DMT, the Spirit Molecule. I have some connections into the psychological realm because parents are directors or drug czars, and I know quite a bit about the use of SSRIs or serotonin drugs to improve mood, but also open up consciousness to otherworldly beings, perhaps, because there's a high rate of suicide. They come with SSRIs as well. And background in herbal techniques, a lot of understanding of how herbs can help us, all across the spectrum, from ginkgo biloba, increasing the uptake of serotonin in certain regions of the brain, to blueberries, increasing serotonin uptake in other regions that help you get through mazes more quickly. Fascinated with art and art history, particularly with the symbolism in art, from the kaduka, the symbol of the medicine with the serpent on it, religion, of course. And let's just stick to the books because it's easier to describe a little bit more about who I am by what I've read. Catholic Bible. It's got a whole bunch of stuff that you don't find in the regular Bibles. The description of the mushroom in the Song of Songs. It describes the mushroom not only as having a golden head with raven black hair, but also calls the hair purple. Well, you can see that golden capped mushroom Mount Zion is your head. The black gills, which can turn purple. That's a really good description of the psilocybin mushroom. And in Song of Songs, King Solomon describes his love of the psilocybin mushrooms, which gave him the title of wisest of all men. I've personally read the Bible twice. Friends of mine have read it 22 times, and they're working on their 23rd time. But, reading it with the power of the Holy Spirit behind you breaks open a lot of the mysteries. When it says David was ruddy, and then he challenged Goliath, and then he wasn't afraid, and said, I come against you. You come against me with spear and sword and javelin, but I come against you with the army of the Lord. He was coming out of the sphere of psilocybin. He was coming out of the sphere of the Holy Spirit. He had a force field around him that, of course, it was a rush of blood to the head, made his face red, and you'll notice that too. Check the time. We've got about 8 minutes left, maybe. The Parthenon Code, written by Robert Johnson Jr. This talks about how the Greeks were really aware of the Genesis history. They, instead of accepting Genesis as it's written by Noah and by the descendants of Noah, Moses, for example, they just switched it around. They became part of the Luciferian group. They worshipped knowledge, and so they worshipped their ancestors who brought them this knowledge. So Hercules means for the glory of Hera and Zeus. So there's Adam and Eve. Hera is Eve, and Zeus is Adam. And out of Zeus's head, out of his own mind, out of his intelligence, out of his thinking, springs this warrior wife of his, Athena. And Athena is the deified Eve after she's eaten at the garden apple, the Manus Muscaria, which is depicted in French churches as a big mushroom with spots on it and serpents flying it. This is French fresco. It relates to this book here. Plants of the Gods. In fact, you should probably see this because maybe you're thinking, hey, this guy's making a lot of stuff up. I don't know if any of this is true. Well, it's all true. And if it's not true, I certainly will come back on and correct it. I'm well studying these things. I'm working on my 19th year of studying this, and as a person who loves the truth, you won't find much that's wrong with what I'm saying, except it might be politically incorrect. And that's just, sorry. Just part of reality is that correctness in God's eyes and in man's eyes, sometimes they're not the same. So I don't have the Amanda's Mysteria shown yet because it's hard to find it. Oh wait, there it is. Oh, darn, I found it. I guess I'll have to show you. Here we go. Ready? Coming at you. Focus, camera, focus. This is a 12th century French fresco of Adam, or rather Eve, standing beside the Amanda's Mysteria. Careful study of it, which I've done, shows another mushroom on which she's standing, and that's the rock, or the tree of life. So Amanda's Mysteria, the evil mushroom of the cliché Maya, as described by Gordon Lawson in Persephone's Quest. Now, there's a lot of knowledge, but really nothing else compares to the study of God, theology, through the use of psilocybin mushroom practices. This is a picture of the Eleusinian Mysteries, part of the Mystery School, the Mystery Babylon, and we've got here a picture of ergot containing rye and the morning glory, both of which were known by the Greeks. They have the 5-pointed star flower depicted in lots of their pottery, and the morning glory wreath around the heads of many of their champions, Olympic champions. So, this is Alexander Schultes' book, Plants of the Gods, and it's a good one. Everybody should have it as a reference. He was the head of the Harvard Botany Department, so he did know quite a bit about what he's talking about. This is Mushrooms Demystified by David Aurora. David Aurora is a really neat guy. He has a high opinion, no pun intended, of psilocybin, and describes the wavy cap, or the caramel cap mushroom, which is the Cyanesis species, psilocybin cyanesis, which grows in Santa Cruz, St. Croix, down in the beaches in the wood chips. This is called The Fungi by Michael Carioli, as well as Graham Goodday. And what I learned from it? What I learned from it was the idea that there are funguses living in the plants that we eat, and that those funguses produce excitotoxins. Corn, peanuts, and raw cane sugar all contain excitotoxins which will release your serotonin, but leave you in a deprived state later. So terms corny or nutty or he's nuts are not coincidental, but they're coincidental terms related to behavioral studies by humans throughout history and in relationship to certain foods.